My name is Jorge Aleman. I'm from El Salvador. I've been here at Jubilee for about 13 years now. I am the husband of Hasina Aleman. We have two beautiful children, Imara and Judah. My story begins in the mid-'80s when we left El Salvador. There's this memory of my dad and my mom splitting up at the airport. No warning, just cold turkey. And we didn't have a male role model. When I was a teenager, I was heavily into drugs, alcohol, gangs. We were living in East Palo Alto, and there was a lot of violence around our area, a lot of drugs, and I felt like I was going to be just another product of my environment. And I specifically remember one time we were at a party, and my mom asked me, about kids and family, and I told her, you know what? No, that's not for me, because I really don't see myself, first of all, putting myself through whatever you and my dad went through. I see some of my family members, I see my friends, and all I saw around me was just a lot of pain and hurt. And maybe about 7-8 years later, I got saved, started attending Jubilee in 2003, turned my whole life around. I was single for about 5 years, and then I met Cece.
Jorge and I met through, it was a setup, it was kind of like a blind date through a great friend of ours. And she pointed him out one Friday night at church. And I saw this guy who had really long hair, slicked back, a ponytail, and he was wearing a suit and tie, dress shoes on a Friday night. And I thought, no way. I thought, this guy is way too conservative, and he looks like somebody's dad. And she drugged me there, and we went to Chili's and hung out. And I gave him a chance. And turns out that he was a wonderful guy. While we were dating, he was very, very careful with my heart. He really honored me, and I thank God for that, because I hadn't experienced that before.
About a year into my relationship with Cece, we decided that we wanted to do things right. We attended the pre-marriage class. We met Pastor Paul, went through the class, and he's actually the one who officiated the wedding. He said, no matter where you came from, no matter what you've gone through, no matter what your past is, you could always start a new legacy.
So shortly after we got married, Pastor Paul approached us and asked us if we'd be interested in helping out with the pre-married class. And we felt a little unqualified, but we took on the challenge. And seeing my husband come into a role in this capacity where he's able to mentor some of the guys, and it's beautiful to see these amazing qualities come out of him, and him to really step up to the challenge of becoming the husband that we talk about in our classes. We talk about a God-designed marriage, and I see he always talks about iron sharpening iron, and I see him becoming sharper as these guys come and press into him, and they're looking to him to be this example of a God-designed husband. It's awesome for us to work together and to see these beautiful characteristics come out.
Being a dad, it's just something you can't put words to. I cherish every single day when I walk through the doors of our home, just to look at their face and the way they respond to me when I get home. It just melts my heart. Drugs, alcohol, nothing could ever compare to the feeling that you have once you have a child in your hand and you feel like God's blessing you and God's anointed you and God's basically said, you know what, you got this. This is your responsibility. I'm trusting you with this person.
I see so many changes in him from dating till now, and I look at him and I've asked him, how did you know how to be a dad? Where did you see your example from? And he said he looked around for godly men to be good examples to him, and he prayed and asked the Holy Spirit to help him. One of the things that blesses me is that he calls me mommy, and he says, Mommy, I see greatness in you. And when I hear that, I could just conquer the world. And now with kids, I know that he sees greatness in our kids and purpose in our kids, and he wants to pull out the giftings and callings in them. And it's beautiful to watch him come alongside of them and train them and teach them and love on them and sometimes be a little tough with them, but I know it's only for the best. And I love partnering with him to walk out the calling that we have as husband and wife, to really nourish our children and to help them to become what God has called them to be. So I'm so proud of him. I thank God that I'm with him and that he's my partner, and this is our assignment together, and that there's so many wonderful things that he's contributed to me and to our kids, and I'm just so grateful. So proud of him. Such an amazing dad. He's the best.